So is EA going to destroy the gaming industry with their latest proposal, or is this going to be good news for gamers? So as many of you know, I have been a big fan of EA Access and Origin Access for PC and Xbox, where for a relatively small fee, you gain access to a ton of EA games as well as some third-party titles. You get discounts on games, and then my favorite feature would be getting to actually try games before they're released, which has actually saved me quite a bit of money because there's been a few titles I was going to pick up and then I played the demo for it. I'm like, this sucks, you know, so I ended up passing on it. But then there's also been games that it's caused me to actually purchase because I would have otherwise skipped it, but I actually ended up enjoying the demo. So I like it. It's an added option. But what EA may be getting ready to do may be going into an area where I'm not ready. You know, so VP of Investor Relations was on a conference call, and here's what he says that EA has been working on behind the scenes for the last several years. We've been building an infrastructure both from a product and a marketing perspective so we can move our slate across to new platforms, and we can move our games across to new platforms as well. So all of these things we've been working on for 5 or more years now, actually. But I think it's inevitable that the gaming entertainment world will move in much the same way that the music and video entertainment worlds have moved already, in the sense that people have moved from an ownership model to an access model. And you'll see that in gaming, just as you've seen it with Spotify and Netflix and other media businesses. And so we've talked about this before. I mean, we've been talking about this for years, that this is where a lot of these companies, that's their end game. You not owning the game anymore, you simply renting the games and streaming it. He goes on to say, the infrastructure barrier is still there, but it's shrinking very rapidly. And we think in the next couple of years, you'll see some major technological announcements that will prove to be commercially significant in the next 3 to 5 years. And then he goes on to try to argue that this is going to ultimately be better for you, the gamer, for you, the consumer. Here's what he says. Right now, if you want to play FIFA in the US, it'll cost you $460. You have to buy the game, you have to buy the console. In a streaming world, it could be $9.99 a month. The commercial details have to be worked out, but whatever number it ends up at, very much less than $460. So that extends your market because all you need locally is literally a smart TV. So first off, his example to the extreme. Some people can buy a console for $200 or less. I actually saw where GameStop had the original Xbox One now going for $150, and it comes, I think, with 2 games. And so it's not going to cost you $400 for everybody to buy a console. And some people don't pay $60 for FIFA. They wait for it to go on sale, or that you can get it through Amazon Prime, you know, for like $47 or something like that. And also, you don't buy a console every time you buy a game. And so his numbers way to the extreme. But even if you just gave him the benefit of the doubt and you said, okay, let's say you paid $60 for FIFA. Well, if you start charging $10 a month for FIFA, if you end up playing more than 6 months of it, you're going to be ending up paying more than what you would have if you just would have bought the game outright. So that example actually sounds pretty terrible to me. Now, from a business standpoint, I totally get why they want to do it. I totally get why they don't want you owning a game. They want to kill owned games. And again, that is their end game. They don't like you to buy physical because you can go rent it from places like Redbox or Gamefly where they don't make any money. You can go let your friends borrow it where they're not making any money. And you can go trade it in at different retailers and buy games pre-owned where, again, they don't make any money. And so subscriptions are a big business. I mean, sometimes I know even me personally, I'll be subscribed to something and I may not notice it right away, you know, looking at the bank account, but I'll be subscribed to something and not even using it for a couple of months before I realize, hey, I'm still being charged for this. I need to go cancel it. And I guarantee you, I'm not the only one who does that. So a lot of people will sign up for something, forget about it, and these companies love that because that is constant income coming in every month. Whereas before with EA, for example, you may go 7 or 8 months before you buy a game from them, if you even buy a game at all. So they want that constant stream of income. And it also means, like you said, that they can reach other people because you don't have to rely on people who have went out and purchased a console and all you need is a TV. So from a business aspect, I totally get it. But as a consumer, that is not a road I want to go down. You're going to have to deal with latency when streaming games. You're going to have to deal with data caps with all these greedy ISPs. And you're going to have to deal with managing a bunch of different subscriptions if the industry tries to follow suit with what EA has planned. And you can bet there are going to be a handful of big companies who try to make this push all at once and try to follow their lead. But I also think that as long as we consumers vote with our wallet and continue buying the games, then there's going to be plenty of companies that are going to feed that market. I mean, this is the brilliant thing about capitalism is if there is a vacuum there, somebody's going to try to fill it and be able to provide for those people still wanting those particular products. So there's always going to be a demand for people who want to buy and own their games. And so I think as long as that's there, there are going to be companies that aren't going to go down this road. And I think even the big companies that try it, I think they're going to start out by having to give it as an option alongside the current model. I just don't see them making the huge push all at once and trying to say, hey, today Battlefield and all future games are going to be streaming only. I think that'll be a death wish. So anyway, we're going to see how that ends up turning out. But post below, if this industry goes down this road, is this going to be the end of the gaming industry as we know it? Are we going to see a huge crash and everything go downhill from now? Or is this going to actually be a good move for you, the gamer, and for you, the consumers? Post below. Look forward to reading your thoughts. So that does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.